Welcome to The Explainer. Today, we're diving into something really cool. We're going to unlock a powerful skill, how to read the truth that's literally written all over someone's face. You know that question, are they telling the truth? We've all been there, right? Whether it's in a big meeting or just chatting with a friend. And what if I told you the answer might be way closer and way clearer than you ever thought?
See, here's the thing. We can pick our words really carefully, but our bodies, especially our faces, they speak this silent, much more honest language. When someone's lying, their brain goes into overdrive, and that's exactly when the truth starts to, well, leak out.
Okay, but hold on a sec. Before you go out there and turn into a human lie detector, you have got to know the 3 golden rules of this whole game. Seriously, if you get these wrong, you're going to misread everything.
Rule number 1. You got to establish a baseline. So what does that mean? It means figuring out how someone acts when they're totally relaxed. Ask them something super simple, totally non-threatening, like what they did over the weekend. Watch them. If they're a person who always fidgets, well, that's just them. That's their normal. It's not a sign of a lie.
Okay, rule 2, and this one is huge. Never, ever judge one gesture by itself. A single nose scratch could just be, well, an itchy nose. What you're looking for is what's called a gesture cluster. Think of it like a combo move. You need a group of at least 3 of these signs happening one right after the other, right after you ask that critical question.
And finally, the 3rd golden rule, you have to avoid something called the Othello error. This is a classic mistake. Just because someone looks super stressed or nervous when you're questioning them, it doesn't automatically mean they're guilty. I mean, think about it. The pressure of just being questioned is enough to make anyone a little shaky.
All right, so you've got the rules down? Good. With those in mind, let's dive into the juicy stuff, the tells. And we're going to start with the most visible part of the body, the one that has the absolute hardest time keeping a secret, the face.
Okay, check this out. It's a tale of 2 smiles. A real, genuine smile, what's called a Duchenne smile, is basically involuntary. It's not just the mouth, it actually engages the muscles around your eyes, giving you those little crow's feet. But a fake smile, it's all mouth. The eyes stay totally still. They just don't join the party.
Next, you got to watch the lips. A relaxed mouth, that's a sign of comfort. But what happens when someone suddenly squishes their lips together into this thin, tight line? That's called lip compression, and it's exactly what it looks like. A subconscious move to literally bolt the door on their mouth and stop the truth from getting out. And get this, the Pinocchio effect, it's actually a real thing. I'm not kidding. The stress from lying can cause blood to rush to these tiny tissues in the nose, and that creates a very real, very physical itch that they just have to scratch. Wild, right?
Okay, this one is a classic. It's all about mismatching signals, when what they're saying and what their body is doing don't line up. So let's say someone says, "Oh yeah, I totally agree," but at the same time, their head does this tiny, almost unnoticeable no shake. Boom, you just saw the truth leak out. The body is screaming no while the mouth is saying yes.
All right, now let's zoom in on the eyes. Because honestly, this is where things get really fascinating. You see, our eyes are wired directly into our brain's emotional centers, which makes them incredibly hard to control consciously. So there's this really popular theory about where people look. Now, take this with a grain of salt, okay? It's not 100% foolproof. But for most right-handed folks, when they look up and to their left, they're often accessing a memory. Looking up and to their right, that can be a sign they're using the creative side of their brain, to construct a new story. Again, it's not a smoking gun, but it's another little piece you can add to the puzzle.
Okay, now let's talk about blinking. A normal, relaxed blink rate is something like 15, maybe 20 blinks a minute. But when someone is lying, their brain is under a huge amount of stress, a high cognitive load, and that can cause their blink rate to just skyrocket. We're talking over 50 times a minute. It's like their brain's processor is overheating, and the eyelids are just fluttering because of it.
You can even look at their pupils, which is crazy when you think about it. If they suddenly get bigger, that's called dilation. It can be a sign of fear, like the stress of getting caught. But on the flip side, if they shrink down to tiny pinpoints, that can actually be a sign of anger, or that they really dislike the question you just asked.
And then there's the long blink. This is not about being sleepy. If someone closes their eyes for a full second, maybe even longer, right after you ask a question, that is a super powerful subconscious move called eye blocking. It's like their brain is trying to literally delete you, or delete the question, or just block out the lie they're about to tell.
Okay, so we've covered a ton of signs, right? The fake smiles, the weird nods, the eye movements. Now let's put it all together. How do we turn this from just a list of observations into a real, reliable toolkit?
This brings us back to one of our golden rules, maybe the most important one of all. It's called the rule of 3. And it's simple. Never, ever call someone out on a single sign. One sign could be anything. 2 signs, maybe a coincidence. But when you see 3 signs pop up together, now that is a pattern.
Let's just walk through a quick example so you can see how it works. Imagine you ask a really direct question, like, so were you at the office late last night? And the very first thing they do, their eyes close for a full second. Okay, there's sign number 1, the eye block.
Next, right as they're about to open their mouth to answer, their hand shoots up and they give their nose a quick scratch. Remember the Pinocchio effect? Yep, that's sign number 2. And then, just as they say the words, "Nope, I went straight home," their fingers drift up and just barely touch their lips. It's like a subconscious shushing motion. And that is sign number 3.
And there you have it. That's a cluster. You didn't just see one thing. You saw 3 different indicators of deception, all happening bam, 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 right in response to your one question. Now, is it absolute proof? No. But it's a really, really powerful signal that the words you're hearing and the story their body's telling, they just don't match up.
So here's the big takeaway, right? This whole skill, it's not about turning you into some kind of human lie detector just so you can go around catching people. Not at all. It's about gaining a much deeper, much richer understanding of what people are really communicating. It's a tool for observation, not for accusation. Which leaves us with one final and pretty fascinating question to think about.